Sometime today. Okay, there we go. What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Phantom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Mike and Anthony, and we are discussing season 3, episode 3 of Marvel's What If series. This one is What If the Red Guardian Stopped the Winter Soldier? So, I'm really trying with these What If episodes. I'm really trying, especially because y'all know how I feel about Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan, and I love David Harbour's portrayal of the Red Guardian in Black Widow, and I'm looking forward to Thunderbolts. However, this episode was a bit much for me. Like, I get the Red Guardian's stick is making the jokes and being the, I don't know, he's almost like he's an environmentalist in this. He's talking about, anti-capitalism, you're supposed to be doing this, you're supposed to be doing that. But the jokes are just so much. And I'm just like, why has Bucky not shot this man already? Like several times.
He's the Red Guardian. He's the guardian of Mother Russia and communism. He's the poster boy for communism. So of course he's going to spout communism and try to convert the McDonald's attendee and make her go against the oligarchy or whatever.
I was going to be nice.
Throw up her hands.
I was going to be nice and say he was a poster boy for socialism because he sounded really socialist as opposed to.
I couldn't just. You know what? I couldn't decide. I couldn't. I was like, is this? But it's like I was thinking because it's old Russia that it'd be communism.
I'd take either one.
Yeah,
for real.
He was a bit much for me in this episode. Like hilarious. even the whole premise of the episode is that he actually is the person to stop the Winter Soldier from killing Howard and Maria Stark. And
I'm laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation.
Oh my God. I was Bucky should have shot him. The Winter Soldier should have shot him the moment he interfered, because the Winter Soldier didn't do all that talking. He didn't do all that reasoning. He just did his mission, ready to comply. You interrupted my mission. I'm about to shoot you. End of story.
Again, we're talking about a character for the second episode in a row that didn't operate as the character would normally operate. And and you
took the one thing about this character that made him the Winter Soldier, and that was that he never fails a mission. He always complies.
As far as we know, this version of the Winter Soldier was completely and utterly ruthless, according to Natalie. Like, this version is the Terminator. But, okay, that being said, I'm going to surprise y'all, Mike. I actually like this episode. and despite its numerous flaws and possibilities, it may, and again, I don't like these references, the callbacks, but the relationship between the two of them reminded me of Bucky and the Falcon. And it does, because I don't know.
Poor imitation.
It worked though. It worked. It was obvious he was getting on the Winter Soldier's nerves. Bucky was about done with him. He probably eventually would have killed him anyway.
He should have done that already.
But but you can't help but to like the Red Guardian. You can't help but like David Harbour is great.
He is.
Yes.
And it seemed like the two of them had some pretty good chemistry. And
really good chemistry.
I like this. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things about this episode that were bad. That were just terrible. But I like
what? Like what? Let's see if we agree on some stuff.
Oh, okay. Let's start with the randomness of Bill Foster being thrown in here. Okay. Can we talk about that? This just
actually like
out of the
So
blue.
so when I saw his name in the credits, I was like, who is because again, Ant-Man 2 complete, like I don't remember anything about this plot, about that movie or anything. So I always forget that he was in Ant-Man 2. So when I'm
Yeah.
looking at the credits, I'm like, who is Lawrence Fishburne going to be? And then when he said Bill Foster, I said, oh, duh. I said, okay, Hanako, before you go back to work in 2025, you need to go back and rewatch this this movie,
Mm-hmm.
especially since Ghost is going to be in Thunderbolts. So I was like, okay, all right.
Again, it's appropriate for the time, him being the shield and all. This is random. Again, here we go again with pulling these characters. Let's just put them in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who doesn't, who hadn't seen the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie wouldn't know.
Yeah.
They're like, is that supposed to be Nick Fury? Like, where's his patch?
Yeah.
Where's his patch? Why does he have hair? Why does he have a beard and go to what? That's not Nick Fury? Is it? Wait, what? Is
That's
it?
that's the wrong Shield black guy.
Right. I mean, wait. Is that supposed to be America Chavez? It is it?
I love America Chavez. She was awesome in this. You're not going to go.
That's not America Chavez. That's
That's not
America
America Chavez.
Ferrera.
Ferrera.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. If you watch
He's talking about, was the character supposed to be America Chavez? Because again, nobody knows who these characters are. But yeah, I loved America Ferrera in this role because that particular character, her character has not been seen in the MCU, has she?
I think she's the original character for sure.
So I like this she's character. She's an NPC. Yeah, I like this character because she's one of those characters. Yeah, she's kind of like Darcy is like one of these, like, okay, so this is what's going on. This is this. Yeah, this Cookie Monster blood trail over. I was like, okay, I'm going to like her character. But yeah, the Bill Foster thing kind of threw me. I was like, because I kind of sort of thought that too. I was like, so is he going to be voicing Nick Fury in this one? I was like, are they putting Nick Fury in this? And then when he opened up his mouth and said Bill Foster, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go with it.
Okay, yeah.
The whole Vegas thing was just weird to me. That was something that I could have done without.
It is rude of you to correct my English.
Philosophy. That was awesome. The Thelma and Louise moment was
kind of, them in the car. That was kind of cool with with them the guns.
And it was great, but yeah, Thelma and Louise. I think more relevant would have been like if the car was black, and then people are oh supernatural. I could have worked with that. More people would have been like, cool. That's like
Sam and Dean.
But no.
That would have been funny. But I mean, I actually liked that part of the show. And I will be honest, I actually did like the episode. It was just the Red Guardian was a bit much because I'm thinking, again, this is not Bucky Barnes in the car. He still has no idea who he is. This is the Winter Soldier. Nothing about anything I know about the Winter Soldier would lead me to believe that he would put up with this from Alexei. All the talking, the different references he's making that don't make sense. Just him as a person, which is going to be really interesting to see in Thunderbolts. But just the Red Guardian and the Winter Soldier, they are like on such opposite planes of the spectrum that you can get as far as assassins are, because Red Guardian is all mouth and Bucky is literally no talk, all action. So it was just really bugging me because I was like, at any point in time, I'm ready for Winter Soldier to just be like, shut up. I was waiting for a Deadpool and Wolverine moment between the two of them. And I think if I had gotten that, I might have been okay.
And then I get the feeling that once again, this is like a Thunderbolts prequel because I'm like, you literally have Bill Foster, not necessarily Thunderbolts, but that gets you to Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, I don't know. That again, references, callbacks, setups, whatever. Why can't you just write the freaking what if episode? Yeah, this is a good premise. What if Bucky? Okay, but why was Red Guardian there for real? Like, I was they were going to reassign him to Ohio. Like, if you hadn't
Like
seen Black
Black
Widow,
Widow.
then it wouldn't make any sense to you. It just seems weird.
Right.
But if you
Yeah,
had
but that's what they were doing. They were reassigning him
right,
to Ohio, and he didn't want to do it because he's like, I'm the super soldier of
I
Russia.
got that. I got that. But if you hadn't seen Black Widow, do you even know who this character is? Wasn't he in the previous What If episode?
Who?
Red Guardian? Was he in
Yeah, he was in
Oh, he was in
episode
the
one.
first one, right? Yeah, he was in the first
he
one.
was.
Mm-hmm. As an
So,
Avenger on top of that.
right.
So yeah.
But then if you hadn't seen Ant-Man, you would know who Bill Foster was.
Right.
Why is he Giant Man? Like, oh,
Yeah.
but I again, I like the chemistry between the two of them. I enjoyed the banter. I was like you, waiting for Blakey to just snap and be like, "That's it, I'm done with you." I was waiting for that, and it was a fun watching Bill Foster run. Was hilarious. Watching them both. Okay, so the Red Guardian beats him up the first time, but he couldn't do it the second time for some strange reason. And then Bucky beats him up. Bill Foster, you go back to the office, sir. Just go back to the office. Just go back to
that. To me, Bill Foster having the suit in this one kind of reminds me of Rhodey having the I just no.
no.
It's not working for you. It's no.
No.
Because if anything, you could have been that big and you could have stopped them from driving off what was that, the Grand Canyon or whatever that cliff was that they were driving off.
Wherever they were. I don't know if there's a cornfield near the Grand Canyon. I seriously doubt that.
Oh, yeah, okay, there is a cornfield over there. Okay, yeah. But,
okay.
Yeah. Mike, what did you think about it?
Mike Webber, of course. It was great.
I mean, what? What?
We're not teasing you. We're still laughing about.
We're still laughing about
the episode.
The Grand Canyon. I just
okay.
Because I have it playing right here, and like, oh my god, is that not a cornfield by the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
Okay, so. See y'all thought. Okay.
Come on, Mike.
Yes, okay. Yes, as everyone who's listening knows, Mike enjoys What Ifs immensely, and yes, I enjoyed this woman immensely. I've been looking forward to this since they gave us the teaser at the end of the last season of What If. Like they gave us like the snippet of them going to the roadblock and going past the roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that this is the buddy movie I didn't really think I didn't know I needed, but I'm glad I got. Okay, so going back to why Bucky didn't shoot him. So I have a theory. So I think that there's either one or two things going on here. Either I'm pretty sure that he's probably worked with him before, is possible, or maybe there's something in his programming that prevents him from killing him, or something like that. I don't know. But at any rate, I love them going together. I mean, and Redgar and Bucky tried to shoot him 3 times. He tried to shoot him 3 times. So it's not like Bucky didn't try to kill him.
But they were kind of fighting then. So it's kind of understandable that he avoided it. But like when they're sitting right there in the car, I mean, I don't know what a gunshot would have done to the Red Guardian because he is super soldier. So maybe the bullet would have just bounced off him or something, but it just would have been nice to see like a little bit of that dynamic. Like I said, I wanted a little bit of Deadpool and Wolverine with these two, but
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Shout out to Bucky for biting him in the fight and like doing whatever it took to try to win the fight. I was like, okay.
fighting is cheating.
And then he proceeds to pull his hair. I'm like, yeah, guys. And then I enjoyed him trying to convert the McDonald's employee to communism or socialism, whichever ism he was at going to. It was like paper hats and servitude, like seize the means of production. When do you get to eat? She's like, I'm a vegetarian, you fart knocker. And shout out to them saying fart knocker. I haven't heard that in like 10, 15 years. But
I've
anyway.
never heard that expression and don't need to hear it ever again.
And shout out to Bucky turning on the smoothness like he was talking to Sam's sister and diffusing the situation.
So that's the other funny thing because that was definitely Bucky Barnes and not Winter Soldier.
Yeah. I like his explanation. He was like, your idiocy triggered my deep cover mode. I was like, oh, man, see, that makes
that was
perfect
actually
sense.
great. That was actually good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to kill Jebediah again. I mean, is Josiah or Jebediah?
Jedediah Stain.
Jedediah.
That Stain. I'm glad we got to kill him again instead of Tony Stark this time. I'm like, cool. Then that I was just like, I felt so bad for the Red Guardian because he was just sitting there like his world just came apart. He was like, the Rook is communist pig. The director is communist pig. Red Guardian worked for communist pig. I was like,
capitalist pig.
Capitalist pig.
Yeah.
Capitalist pig. Yeah. He was like, his world came apart. I was like, damn, that's fucked. And but yeah,
It's so funny because when they're having that interaction, again, the Red Guardian is talking so much, and Winter Soldier's just looking back and forth like, so what are we doing? So what are we doing? What the fuck are you talking about? Will you kill this man already or whatever?
Are we shooting him or
right?
I actually it's kind of weird. Shout out to Bucky in Vegas giving Goliath a sure you can uppercut and knocking him out. I was like yeah, I was like while I was glad to see Bill Foster and I'm glad that Lawrence Fishburne's still getting them Bill Foster checks, get that money, look that shit up. He seemed like he was. I think he probably would. He was like, if they were serious, I could have ended this a long time ago. But these guys are just fucking idiots, and I can't get a hold of. I can't figure out how to corral this situation. It's like he threw a damn windmill like a shuriken. I was like, okay, like this should be over with. But no, you can't do anything with the super soldiers. But yeah, I liked it. I was just. Shout out to Red Guardian for calling him Hydra trash when he heard him trying to get this. Like what? Hydra trash?
Hydra trash. Yeah.
Talking about Winter Soldier.
Talk about Bucky.
He's not even a real Russian.
Yeah, the Guardian of Coney Island.
That was awesome. But see, that was cool.
There were so many really good like one-line zingers. Like especially when Agent Morales was like, "Oh yeah, Russell's a Bigfoot." He was like, "What?" He was like, "Oh no." She's like, "No, it was a mountain lion." But anyway,
right?
Still,
right.
Or when he grew the first time, she was like, "Oh, okay, I see you."
Right. And then after she talked about the mountain lion, he was like, "Okay, I see you." I was like, "Oh, do we have something going on?"
What's up with this? Okay.
Okay. When they're sitting there talking and they're looking at Jedediah on the ground and they're like, okay, so the Starks are this, but not the baby. And then you see Bucky and the Red Guardian falling down the side of the hotel. I feel like I'm watching, I'm trying to think of what a good buddy cop. Rush Hour. That's what it feels like.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker just doing some shenanigans, but instead it's two superpowered soldiers who are just oh my goodness.
You know, this was a fun episode. I'm like Mike. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
I had fun, but like I said,
but it's got a lot of issues, but it's fun.
Alexa just needed to be shot one or two times. I mean, I don't want him dead because again, I like the Red Guardian. I like his humor, but one thing I think is that sometimes the humor, especially when it's a lot, it doesn't necessarily come through in animation as it would like in live action because you don't get David Harbour's facial expressions, you don't get the body language, and I think sometimes it just gets lost in translation. But again, I like his character. I just felt like Winter Soldier would have taken care of that after a while, but you know, I guess they do make kind of a good team. Not as good as Bucky and Sam, but they are right.
No, but it was good. It was good. This reminded me of the same feeling I had watching the Hot Wheels episode of What If. With,
the Hot Wheels episode.
Yeah, when they were with what was it with Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, when they were on the car.
Oh yeah.
The race.
The Ben Hur
it was fun. Gotcha. It was fun. You know, it was different. It was fun. And I thought this was fun. And the what if premise, like you kind of have to stretch a little bit about why he was there to stop him. And, you know, then you think about all the ramifications of that situation, but it was kind of cool. And yeah, I had the scene playing again. Yeah, he was trying to kill him. He wasn't not trying to kill Ringo. He was literally trying to kill him. And I don't think that's as easy a task, you know, for Bucky. Just like when he was trying to kill Cap. He was trying to kill Steve. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
But it was interesting.
I wish they would have at least tried to do the whole hand holding thing when they went over the ledge of the canyon. Like, just give me like a little bit. It's like, I mean, at least raise your hand a little bit. Like, I mean, oh, and shout out to when they went over the side, like when they did the cut scenes when they showed the Ranger, then they showed Bill Foster, then they showed the Guardian, then they showed Bucky, then they cut aside and showed the Watcher going like, are they really doing that shit?
So I like the fact that so far the Watcher, he has still stayed behind the scenes like he's supposed to. And then it's like when certain things happen, he's just kind of like, you know, we get a little bit of reaction from him, like in the last episode when he was talking about them having a happy ending. And then the Celestial showed up behind him and he was like, but who doesn't love a good cliffhanger? But yeah, this episode was fun. And I'm looking back towards the end of, well, I'm looking at the end of the episode now and I'm like, okay, so you do get a little bit of a friendship moment with them before everything happens and Bucky gets taken again. But I think the other thing about this is we're so used to hearing about what a bad guy Dreykov is. You know, this is the guy who oversees the Red Room. He's responsible for Natasha Romanoff and, you know, all of the widows, and also in this one, you know, the Winter Soldier. And I was just like, I don't know if I feel like he's as big a threat, but I don't know.
He seemed like a district manager. Like he's just like reassigning people like to places. Like he's sending him to Iowa. He's like doing all kinds of paperwork instead of actually getting his hands dirty and doing things like you know, training and doing bad things to the trainees and stuff like that and beating people up. Like he just seemed like middle management.
Don't we see him in Black Widow? Didn't she kill him in Black Widow?
Yeah, but he was more. Yeah, he was in
We
Black Widow.
think she killed him, but we did not see a body. He got on one of the planes, and it when the building was collapsing, and I think the plane exploded. But again, we never see a body, and I think he
Right.
may have had I don't know.
And people like that, they don't get into that position without having a few bodies
Mm-hmm.
in the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he looks like he's, the leader, the prime minister of a country, but we know that he's done some shady things to become, his position. I'm not talking about nobody in general. I'm just saying
Shady.
guys in Russia, they always start out somewhere to get to
Yeah,
that level
he
of power.
tried to get Bucky to kill the Red Guardian. Like he called him and tried to order him to take the Red Guardian out, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, I like this episode more than I did before we started talking about this. I mean, it was a fun
But you
episode.
didn't finish watching it.
No, but well, see, I told you I'm gonna cut that out because I just watched the rest of it. So, and like, I think the only thing that really did irritate me was the amount of talking Alexi did. Because again, I'm so used to in my head, like the Winter Soldier being this quiet, like silent killer. And so to kind of have this very loud physical presence, boisterous presence with him, and then we get to see a little bit more of Bucky Barnes, even though he doesn't know that's who he is. It was just very weird to me because I'm like, no, I don't know, because I think if the Winter Soldier had been given these orders to kill Howard Stark and Maria Stark, and he got interrupted. Like you said, Mike, he did try to shoot the Red Guardian. It didn't take. But then for them to be in the woods while the police get there, and they're still like, Red Guardian is still talking while Bucky is sitting there telling Dreykov that he failed the mission. And he's just like, failed the mission? I've never failed the mission. I don't think live action Winter Soldier would have done that. He wouldn't have said shit. He would have shot Red Guardian. He would have gone back out there, killed Howard and Maria, and killed all the police too. I just feel like that's what Winter Soldier would do because no witnesses. But okay, if we're taking all of that out, I guess I can see him not shooting Alexi. But Alexi is one of those people. It's just kind of like he has a lot of mouth. And sometimes you just want to silence him. Maybe he didn't have to shoot him. Maybe he just needed to punch him in the mouth and make him hush for a little bit. That would have been okay.
I feel like Mike and I did something. We got you to like an episode of What If, and I'm usually the one who's not liking this.
Well, like I said, it's not that I didn't like the episode to begin with. Alexi was just a bit much for me. Yeah. Especially when you're talking about him and Winter Soldier. It's just like I said, you got one that's way up here, one that's way down here. And so trying to make my mind accept this enough to meet in the middle, I was just like, But as I'm watching it in the background while we're talking about it, I was like, okay, I guess it wasn't all that bad. Like, yeah, Alexi is a motor mouth, but he is funny. So I'll give him that. I mean, and again, like I said, it's more so about the I guess the animation not matching the voice or what I expect, because I'm so used to with Red Guardian watching him in Black Widow and then seeing him in the trailers for Thunderbolts. You get the humor, but you also get the facial expressions, and you also get to see how dumb he looks, and just the different physical ways that David Harbour brings that character to life. And it's kind of, I don't really get that as much with the animation, especially when it comes to humor sometimes, because I really feel like with humor, especially that kind of humor where you're just constantly talking nonstop, you have to see it physically, at least for me. It's the same way with Deadpool. Like, I don't have to envision Ryan Reynolds' face, because when I see Deadpool, it's just kind of his body language, the way he speaks, what he's saying in the comedy. So Okay, yeah, it's fine. It's
And
fine.
to be fair, Bucky was kind of sick of him spouting his communist manifesto too. He was like, "Damn, you're more brainwashed than I am."
So not the
Right,
manifesto again.
right, right. But
But
at
yeah,
the end, when they get Bucky back, in the red room or wherever Dracoff takes him, and they go through the whole thing. They brainwash him again, so he forgets everything. Which, okay, I'm like, you give us all of this for the episode, you make them become bosom buddies, and then you have him forget everything that happened. I'm like, do we have to do this again? Okay, whatever.
I
But
mean,
then
everything can't have
Alexi
a
gets,
happy ending.
huh?
Everything can't have a happy ending.
I know, I know, but that's the one thing about Winter Soldier. I'm like, he deserves a happy ending, but maybe not in
Mm,
this episode, but we'll see. But
yeah.
Alexi still ends up being a PE teacher because I think he's had an, I mean, he's had enough. He's literally like turned on Dracoff and basically like, okay, I'm gonna go be an Avenger and stand in the middle of the famous Avenger of
That was awesome.
360.
I like how they waited to the end to be like, "Oh, is he gonna be? He's gonna take Cap's place?" I'm like, "Nope, Cap's there." Then he
Right.
just butts. Is like, "Aha!" It was like
Yeah, and
Black Widow.
Natasha's looking like the hell.
So
So
apparently he wasn't. He didn't portray her. He wasn't. He didn't like raise her. So
no,
that was
because he
she
would have had to have gone to Ohio for that to happen.
true. And
So
being a
yeah,
senior data input manager.
yeah.
God, that sounds boring. That makes me.
Or or he could have raised her, and because I mean, again, uh Natasha as an Avenger, she is a, she defected from the Red Room. So they could have had that in common and been like, oh, okay. I don't know. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be funny. But that explains how he got to be an Avenger in the first episode. Because when they were doing that whole first episode and him and Melina were there, I said, how? How? But again, whole different set of Avengers, so it could have worked. It could have worked. He could have decided, okay, I'm gonna be an Avenger, um, in memory of my daughter Natasha, because she would have been in
Right.
that first line of Avengers that fought the apex creature and lost. So yeah. But okay. So we like this episode. So
I
we're
liked
kind
it.
of,
Yeah.
episode one was kind of split like this. Episode two was kind of split like that. So episode three, I think, is more on even ground, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And mainly just built on the chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah.
And the chemistry between Bill Foster and Ranger
Agent
Morales
Morales. Agent
wasn't
Morales.
wasn't bad either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking, oh, that's Ghost Mother. Yeah, that's where my mind went.
You know, I was thinking, what if this is Luis's mom
Who is
from Ant Man?
Louisa?
Luis from Ant Man, the one who gave the backstories.
You mean the best part of Ant-Man?
Yes, yes, the best parts of Ant Man. That would be funny as shit. I don't know his last name, but I'm like, oh, but his mom died or get deported, or his dad died and his mom got deported. I can't remember.
It was one, yeah, it was one or the other. I can't
One
I
or the
can't
other.
remember.
He may have said one or the other.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 5 more episodes of What If. They are releasing daily up until the 8th episode. And then that's going to be it for the series. So even though the first 2 episodes we were of this season, we were all kind of mixed on, I still think overall this is a good series. I like what they've done so far. Um, I do know that we're going to see some characters from last season in some of the later episodes because of what we got in the trailer. So I am looking forward to that. I do see that Cohorty is coming back, which I'm excited about because that was one of the episodes. I think, Anthony, you mentioned it in the last episode when we talked about episode 2, that, hers is a story that was original and we still enjoyed it because we had no expectations for
Mhm.
what to expect with it. So now that we know a little bit about her character and what her MO is and what she's about, how is this going to fit into whatever they're doing with her for this season. I'm excited to see that. I think there were a couple other things. I saw a cowboy Shang-Chi, which intrigues
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I really hope we get to see Moon Knight again, because other than that, I don't know when we're going to see him.
I was laughing because um, Nick, one of our listeners, had watched the Kahori episode, I think it was, and he mentioned how I said that it was not the same. No, we're watching. He was talking about Echo. And I was saying that the blue stuff in Echo was not the same as the blue stuff. And if Nick doesn't understand that, Nick, I'll be happy to explain it to you.
Oh my
Send me a
lord!
DM.
We're not going to have this discussion. Do y'all have any final thoughts on this episode?
Shout out to the Red Guardians, the way he ran away, like especially in Vegas when he was like like running like this. Like I
See,
thought there were a
that's
couple.
something I want to see David Harbour do. And I hope we get to see that in
We
Thunderbolts,
probably
because
will. It's awesome.
yeah.
I thought. I mean, I enjoyed him being the way he was, even though he's the worst Tetris player ever. Like he's sitting there playing Tetris, and
Dude, I was so mad watching that. I was like, how are you like, do you even know how
I
to
was like,
play this game?
turn it, like oh, like that just
Yeah.
made me mad. Shout out to them. Like right before they showed Bucky, the last scene they had together, being kind of reminiscent of Butch and Sundance, like going out for the last big hurrah. Like I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Bucky being trying to be on West Coast Customs by turning that car into a convertible in like 5 seconds when they were driving. I was like, he just went. I was like, damn, that shit happened real quick. And oh, have y'all seen the first Charlie's Angels?
Yes.
Are you talking about the
The long time,
original, or are you talking about?
the first movie.
Yes.
Okay, so the scene where he was getting ready to meet the Rook, like reminded me of the first movie when they thought they were going to meet Charlie, where they were like, how do I look? How's my hair? Like, do I look okay?
That's how he was. That's how he was. And Bucky was looking at him like, what's wrong with this dude? Like, I feel
Yeah,
like that was the running commentary in Bucky's head the whole episode. He just kept looking at Red Guardian like, what is
yeah,
wrong with this man? What is
yeah,
wrong with him?
definitely. And no one knows, but I loved it. I think this is a great episode. I love all the little like tropes that they put in there, like finding a veterinarian's office to suture their wounds and hide out until the heat's off. I was like, oh, convenient, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like he's like you're scaring the cats.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bailey wants to be a veterinarian. I'm gonna have to make sure that she has an upgraded security system.
Yeah, make sure she doesn't work late hours, that she might run
Yeah.
into like a superhero coming in there too.
Um, Shout out to Alexi for calling out how weak American children are because of American excess. Oh, that was
Oh god,
you
those poor
know, I
kids.
mean,
They look
yeah,
they were
weak
just
children.
they were
he
like, no,
wasn't
please.
wrong with a lot of the things he was saying. That's the thing. He
Oh my
wasn't
god.
exactly wrong.
He was wearing
But
those kids out. Like them kids didn't want to see another dodgeball for the rest of their
I
lives.
mean,
Like,
have you played dodgeball? I wouldn't
well,
either.
duh.
We had a so yesterday was Christmas, and we were over at my in-laws house, my ex-in-laws, and there's a toddler in the house. My ex-husband has a almost 3-year-old. And so he has all of these different little balls around the house that my kids were playing with him with. And he has a small, like, orange ball that's kind of got like these little spikes, but it looks like a miniature dodgeball. And all three of my kids and I, we looked at that like, ooh, trauma. Like, we have traumatic memories from dodgeball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
One thing I forgot to mention about the first episode.
mhm.
Um, there was a moment where the Hulk hits the apex and it makes a sound from the
$6
original.
million man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, from the original Incredible Hulk.
See, that's what I thought too. But Mike said it was the $6 million man, and I was like, really? Because I thought it was the original Incredible
You
Hulk
know what?
too. But I
I
was
think the sounds are similar. I
It's the
think
similar.
because it's
It's
the
the same
70s.
sound.
It's the 70s. They only have like so many sounds that they
It's
make.
the
Is like
same.
was a lot.
Only because someone had posted the fight between the between David Banner, the Incredible Hulk, and the gorilla.
oh,
That's one of
okay.
the episodes, and it was making that sound when he threw it. It was it was
And
weird.
see, that's what I heard too. And I was like,
You
wait,
know,
they played the sound effect. And then, like I
yeah.
said, all the other 80s stuff, because one of the things that you didn't mention, Anthony, as far as all the things they were pulling from, you forgot to mention. Well, did you mention Gremlins? They were pulling from Gremlins too, because
Gremlins heavy.
Yeah, I
yeah,
forgot Gremlins.
Heavy.
yeah. So that was fun. But okay.
Anyway,
So we have what, 5 episodes left? Okay. And the next one, okay, we're already gonna warn y'all because the next episode is Howard the Duck, and y'all know how Mikey is about Howard the Duck. So
Yeah. Just
just
get ready. I'm gonna apologize in advance because I I just I mean, even if it's a bad episode, I'm gonna like it. I don't care. I'm just gonna get on everybody's nerves. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
It could be the worst directed and written episode. My boy's on there. I don't care. I'm watching my boy,
Yep.
the
So
homie.
on
no
that note,
comment.
you know what? And on that note, that's it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.